So everyone can import that same file as long as you don't save into that same directory, so we don't all write over each other's. Yes. Okay. So if we import to groups ME471, because I know this one works. Because that one we're having trouble meshing the top of it.
I think it has something to do with the model I created, because we're looking at it right now, but the idea should work. Just need to make sure it's a closed model. I'll take a look at it later today and see if that is the problem.
So, well, no, if you move that in air behind it. Yeah, that's what we come across. It's because we think it's meshing twice on top. Sorry, guys.
So where did you put that new one?
So if you go to the groups folder, ME471, and the folder is Lab 13 Catia. And there's an IGES file in there called car mod something or other.
Is that also available?
Car shell mod, yes. Oh, you want me to? Could you email it out? I'm logged in over there on that computer behind Josh, and the folders are sitting there.
What size should we do the elements for the box?
Cross your fingers. Okay, so here is
I'll email it out to you.
here's the shell that we used here. And so once again, this should be pretty easy. I will change this color to be brighter. So if I just start meshing, actually I need to make new components. So create component, body, create wall, red, create inlet.
What folder is it in? You guys have lab
Make this guy green. Okay, so
What folder is it in, Eric?
ME471 on the groups folder, and then Lab 13 Catia. Okay, so I'm going to mesh this guy again, line mesh. So on this one, make sure you select all 4 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to mesh it all at the same time. Otherwise, you're going to have gaps in the corners. So we're going to mesh these. Oh, and this one, by the way, is 40 long right here, and so this guy's about 200 long units. So I think this is, I think an element size of about 10. Let's see what happens there. No, I want smaller than that. I think if you do an element size of about 2, yeah, that'll give you a good size. So an element size of 2 on this one will work. And then we will also do, we're going to mesh this guy in the middle here, the body. And this one we're going to want about 0.5 size mesh.
1.5?
Yeah. And actually, I'm going to do a little bit tighter than that. Oh. Let's do it about, I did a 0.6, 0.3. Let's see what happens there. Okay, I'm actually going to click on these guys and make them a little bit bigger, or a little tighter. Like that. Oh, whoops. No, we don't want that board. Okay. Okay. So now I have those 2 meshes, and I'm going to organize them. So tool, organize, move those to body, move, and then we'll move these to the inlet, move this to the outlet. Actually, it's already in the outlet, I think. Move, and then the top and the bottom is wall. Okay. So now we should be able to go to Utility, Generate 2D BL Mesh, and oh look, it has a wall and body and inlet outlet. So hopefully it'll recognize them. Let's find out. Comps. There we go. Select, proceed. Okay. So boundary node insertion 6. These values. I think this should work. Yes. Okay. We got a mesh. So there you can see this is our boundary mesh. It's 6 layers thick, and then once it finishes the boundary, then it starts going into this other mesh. And down here it's going to look like this, but that's just normal, not a problem. And that is our mesh. So this will be the inlet, and this will be the outlet. I'm going to wait until you guys are here, and then we'll move on.
Mine's bad. Ain't bad.
So.
Does that mean that I don't have to respond to it?
Okay, the next thing we need to do, we need to make sure this thing is facing the right way, because right now, as you can see, the Z is this way and Y is this way, and X is coming out of the screen, and we want it to be X, Y, Z coming out. So if we go to Tool, Rotate, we can rotate this thing. Now in the tutorial it talks about clicking the ones on the side and flipping, then clicking these two and flipping them. I find it's just easier just to figure it out until you get it. So if I click,
Sorry, Eric. What did you get to get into that?
okay, so we want to, so yeah, so you go to Tools, Rotate, right here. And we want to rotate components, comps, and we're going to select all of them: body, wall, inlet, outlet, and 2D core mesh, 2D BL mesh. And actually, yeah, level 8. We'll just select them all. Select. And we're going to rotate them along the, okay, let's see here. So if I want to,
Is it because the flow has to come in a certain direction? Is that?
yeah, I'm gonna rotate this thing around the x-axis first, and at the point, yeah, it says B, which is the base point. We're gonna do it from right there, and
So you just click that.
90 degrees, and if we rotate it plus, it should flip it up like that. Okay, that is close. Okay, I'm gonna rotate this thing around the z-axis about 100 and, well, let's try rotate minus. Okay, then I'm gonna do around the y, rotate minus, oh, like that, and then do another one on the x. Oh, no, like that. Okay, I'm rotating it because I want it in this orientation. If I click on Y, X, Y, I look from the top, X, Y, and Z's coming out of the screen. I want to look just like this, with the inlet on the left and the outlet on the right. That way it'll be in the correct orientation when we give it to ANSYS for it to then just set everything up. If it's as far as I understand, if it's off a little bit, then it's not gonna. We want to just get it in the right orientation before we export it.
If it already looks like that, do you have to rotate it?
No, as long as your X is this way and your Y is this way and your Z is out of the screen, then you're good. Because before I was getting that view by clicking on Z, Y, or those kind of things.
How come every time I hit rotate, it doesn't rotate?
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and export this thing. So to export, just like how we export other things, you can click the red arrow, or you can say File, Export. It'll bring up this menu, and we want to export. So on here, the mesh style, the file type, we want to be a CFD, and solver type is Fluent. And then you select a place to export it. So make sure you don't do it in the same folder, but put it somewhere else. I'll drop this one. Groups, TA. and then you just name it something. Ready for Fluent. Save. Okay, and it'll export as a CAS file. So you hit export. It'll ask if you want to continue. You say yes, and then here it'll ask if it was would you like to use an existing Fluent CAS file for this purpose? Like, was this built from a previous CAS file? No, we made this from scratch. So click no on this one, and it will say it was created. Okay, so now we have our CAS file that's ready to import into ANSYS. So if we open ANSYS, start, programs, CAD programs. Whoa, where's ANSYS? Oh, there it is. And then launch ANSYS. Okay, now this point right here, this is important, this part. You're going to get this black thing, but instead of saying like a new or something up here, we want to go to Tools, Run CFX Launcher. This is what we're going to be using, and it works. So once we click on that, it will open up the CFX Launcher thing, and then this will look a lot like what the tutorial looks like, which is what we're looking for. So we're going to click on, where do we want the working directory to be? And so you set that to wherever you want.
Does it have to be where the file's located?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be, but if you already made a new folder for that, then that's probably a good place to drop it. So I'm going to leave that here. Choose. And then we're going to launch CFX Pre 12.1, and it will. I think I clicked it. Yeah, there it goes.
The CFD post? No, pre.
Yeah, CFX Pre, the one on the left. Yeah, this button right here is the one we want to click on. So here we are in Pre. We're going to start a new case, and we're going to do quick setup. Okay, so it'll bring up this message but we don't worry about that. It'll take a little bit to load. Is anyone really far behind, completely lost? You all with me? Okay, so once you get Pre, then you click New Case on the top left, File, New Case, or whatever, and then it'll take a little while to load, and so you can just close that. So we just want to make sure this is single phase, ideal gas, and then the mesh file. This is where we open up our CAS file that we just created. So you hit Browse. It's looking for a CFX mesh, but we want it to find a CAS file, so a Fluent CAS. And hey, look, there is our. Since I already set the default directory as where I exported the other file, there it is there. Or you can just go to it and find it. So that's what we want to set. Say what?
New case general.
Quick setup. You want to do quick setup once you click New Case. Quick setup.
You have to change the file type to CAS.
Yeah. The CAS.
Yeah.
Yes, good. Okay, so then just keep clicking next until it. Next. I think this is good. Yeah. Next. Finish. Okay, so now it automatically recognized our inlet and our outlet. As you can see, that's one reason why we had it oriented that way. We can see the inlet is this way and the outlet is that way. Now we're going to have to modify one of them, or maybe both. But we need to also create some other boundary conditions. So if we